The day my husband smiled from his hospital bed and proudly announced that another woman deserved everything we had built together, everyone in the room expected me to break down in tears. Instead, I took a slow breath, looked directly into his eyes, and realized that the secret I had protected for years was finally about to change the ending he had spent so long planning. My name is Evelyn, and for more than 3 decades, I believed loyalty was the strongest foundation a marriage could have, until I discovered that trust can quietly disappear while daily life continues to look completely normal. My husband, Daniel, and I started our lives with very little, but while I spent years building financial security through smart investments and long hours of work, he enjoyed the comfortable life we created without ever asking how much sacrifice it required. Several years before that hospital room confrontation, I uncovered a trail of hidden credit card charges, luxury hotel reservations, and expensive gifts that led me to a woman named Vanessa, revealing a relationship Daniel had carefully hidden from me for nearly a decade. I never confronted him because I understood that anger fades quickly while preparation lasts forever. So I quietly began organizing every financial record, ownership document, and legal paper connected to the life I had built, knowing that one day the truth would matter far more than any argument. Although everyone around us believed Daniel and I had created our success as equal partners, the reality was very different behind closed doors. Before our wedding, my late grandfather had encouraged me to keep every investment I made in my own name, and I followed his advice by purchasing several rental properties using my inheritance and the income from my growing business. While Daniel proudly showed off the comfortable lifestyle those investments provided, he spent more of his time with Vanessa, taking her on weekend trips, buying expensive jewelry, and promising that one day they would enjoy everything he claimed belonged to him. Neither of them realized that every mortgage payment, repair bill, insurance premium, and property tax had always been paid from my personal accounts, leaving Daniel without any legal ownership of the wealth he loved to brag about. Everything changed after Daniel suffered a severe heart attack that left him confined to a hospital bed, where doctors warned that even minor emotional stress could become dangerous for his fragile condition. Instead of focusing on his recovery, he became determined to rewrite his will, convinced that his final act would reward Vanessa with the fortune he believed he controlled while leaving me with nothing except the pain of his betrayal. A few days later, Daniel insisted that his attorney gather everyone inside his hospital room because he wanted his final wishes, announced while he was still alive, believing it would be his greatest moment of triumph. Vanessa arrived wearing a confident smile, convinced she was about to inherit a fortune, while I quietly carried a thin folder that contained years of carefully organized legal records. When the attorney finished reading the will, Daniel looked at me with satisfaction as every property, investment, and valuable possession he believed he owned was promised to Vanessa, leaving me with absolutely nothing after 32 years of marriage. The room became painfully silent as everyone waited for me to cry or argue, but I simply smiled and calmly told Daniel there was something I had known for nearly 10 years that he had never imagined. His expression slowly changed as I revealed that I had discovered his secret relationship long ago, but that was only the beginning of the truth he was about to hear. I then placed my folder on the table and asked my attorney to explain who had actually purchased every property, because none of the wealth Daniel had just given away had ever legally belonged to him in the first place. My attorney carefully spread the certified documents across the small hospital table and explained that every property had been purchased with my personal inheritance and the profits from my own business over many years. He calmly pointed to bank records, purchase agreements, tax filings, and ownership certificates that proved Daniel had never invested a single dollar signed as an owner or gained any legal rights to the homes he believed he could leave behind. The confidence disappeared from Daniel's face as he slowly realized that his final plan had completely fallen apart before it even began, and Vanessa looked from the paperwork to him with growing disbelief. Her excitement turned into panic when she understood there was no fortune waiting for her, because the future Daniel had promised throughout their relationship had existed only in his imagination. Daniel tried to argue, insisting there had to be some mistake, but every question he asked was answered by another official document that confirmed the same undeniable truth. His breathing became heavy as the heart monitor began sounding urgent alarms, and the doctors rushed into the room while everyone stood, frozen, watching the consequences of years of lies unfold in only a few unforgettable moments. The medical team did
Tissues
everything
bir
they could to
de
stabilize Daniel,
tissues.
but the emotional shock was more than his weakened heart could handle, and within minutes the room fell into a heavy silence that words could never fill. Vanessa quietly gathered her belongings and walked away without looking back, proving that the devotion she had always claimed to have disappeared the moment she realized there was nothing for her to
Bütün
inherit. In
ekipman
the weeks that followed, every legal review
Romanian
confirmed
video
exactly what my attorney had
banana
presented that day, and every property remained safely in my name because I had protected my future with careful planning instead of empty promises. I never celebrated the end of my marriage or the loss of a life,
ekipane
but I found peace knowing
Donetski
that
video
honesty,
banana
patience, and
başarılı.
preparation had protected everything I spent decades building through determination and hard work. Looking back, I learned that silence should never be mistaken for weakness, because the calmest person often understands the truth better than anyone else in the room, and greed has a way of destroying itself without any help. Please subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends and family. We create entertaining and inspiring stories for our viewers, and your support helps us continue making great content for you.